Hey everybody, and welcome to Meals with Melissa, where we come up with great options for you that are healthy for you and your family. So today we are coming up, it's just, it's a side dish. That's such a weird one because sometimes, maybe you've got the roast or whatever it is that you're gonna have for dinner, but then what else do you eat that's healthy? And a lot of times we think, well, potatoes, well, maybe that's just too starchy for what you're doing right now. So this is a really great and easy one. As a matter of fact, I haven't even made it yet. I'm literally going with the groove here so I can show you how to make it. But we are making spinach and mushroom cauliflower rice. So super simple. It just requires making sure that you have a few things ready. So right now I have about a tablespoon of olive oil heating up in my pan, and to that I'm going to add a half a cup of onion, and I've already chopped that up here. I know I'm kind of in my little corner here, but I got to be able to use the stove. So wouldn't it be cool if I had a gas range and I could just sit here on top and work with that? That would be so awesome. Gas is the best because the heat's way easier to control. But we're gonna start with about a half a cup of onions. Now, if you don't like onions, don't add them. I love onions, so not a problem. I eat onions with my eggs pretty much every day. All right, so I'm gonna give that a minute to just let that start to cook. And I'm using a great big pan because honestly, I pulled out a smaller one and then went, I don't know if that's gonna be enough room for all the ingredients. The great thing is too, you can make these things ahead and then put them in the fridge and eat on them the next day for lunch using leftovers. I batch cook because it's a whole lot easier because I make everything in advance. I weigh and measure it out, portion it out, so all I have to do is grab it the next day and go. Because even though my job is not available to be working, I still am a super busy girl. All right, so to that I'm going to add about 3 cups of mushrooms. Now I bought sliced mushrooms and then I kind of chopped them up just a little bit smaller pieces because they were pretty good size. And I just bought them at the grocery store. I'm gonna add that to it. I might have to add just a smidgen more of olive oil just to make sure that those all, have a little bit of oil, coated with a little bit of oil in order to cook evenly. So I'm just gonna add just a smidgen more, not a lot. Just remember that healthy fats are good for you. That's the thing. We went through this whole period of time in the 90s-ish where, everything was low fat because they would say, well, fat causes fat, which is not exactly true. So you need healthy fats. That is an important part of your nutrition. So make sure that you're getting the right ones. So stay away from vegetable oil. That is horrible for you. Number one, it's not even made with vegetables. And number two, it is processed with chemicals. So not a great option there. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of get this around here. Anyway, so when it comes to healthy fats and cooking oils, I recommend extra virgin olive oil. We also use quite a bit of coconut oil at my house. And some really great tasting ones that a lot of people haven't even heard of would be macadamia nut oil and avocado oil, which I've used both. And they're good. They just give it a little bit different flavor. Now, each of them have a little bit different smoking points, so not all of them are appropriate to cook exactly with each style of cooking that you do, but they are definitely healthier options than utilizing vegetable oil. Now, on top of that, guys, canola oil is vegetable oil. It's just Canadian oil. I know, right? Like, I didn't know that before. All right, so I'm gonna give this a second to cook down. Now, I've already pre-cooked a 10-ounce package of cauliflower rice. Now, the cool thing is they have a couple of different options, like when it comes to flavors and some added vegetables in it, but I just got the basic. It's just a 10-ounce package, and you throw it and steam it in the microwave for about 5.5 to 6 minutes. So that's already done and waiting. Now that comes in kind of at the end. Okay, so to that I'm gonna add 2 cloves of minced garlic. Now, I like to cheat a little bit. I don't really want to mince garlic myself, to be honest, and this is easy, and it takes forever to use up. So that's about a teaspoon of pre-minced garlic. So I'm gonna add that right now as we go and let it just kind of soak in. Now, I like garlic, so if I add a little too much, I am okay with that. All right, so I'm adding some garlic to that. Oh, darn, it's a heaping teaspoonful. I'm okay with that. All right. The great thing is, like I said, now I'll have some food for the next couple of days. All right, so I'm gonna get that all mixed in. It's all cooked. It's gonna smell amazing here in just a minute. Now, just to kind of give you a heads up as I'm letting this cook, it calls for soy sauce, but you could also use coconut aminos. Not a huge fan, personally, of soy. The downside, too, is it can actually mess with your estrogen. So I tend to use that. It has a lot of sodium. Now, sodium is not exactly the problem. you know, people say, okay, well, you know, I'm told I'm supposed to have a lower sodium diet. Just make sure that you're getting enough of the other parts of the electrolyte balance. So that would be making sure you're getting enough water, enough magnesium, and enough potassium. And you're best off if you do that through the actual foods that you eat, so you're getting a really nutritious way to do that. All right, so we'll be using that in a minute. We're also going to be adding a little bit of spinach. Obviously, now for those of you that don't like spinach, I guess you could leave that out, but I don't know why. I love spinach. Something I didn't like as a kid, but I absolutely love now. All right, so as that gets in there just a little bit. Now to that, I'm going to add the cauliflower rice and then some of the coconut aminos. So I'm just gonna dump this in and allow it to kind of crisp up just a little bit. It's kind of like making your own fried rice. All right, I'm gonna dump that throughout. I'm really glad I grabbed a bigger pan. I think that I might have an issue getting it all in, and I don't want it to spill over once I get the spinach in there. So I'm gonna get that. Then to this, I'm gonna add the coconut aminos. Now again, if you want to use soy, that is your choice. I used to use a lot more soy, but I don't tend to use soy anymore. So, okay, get that going. Now I guess you could add some salt and pepper. I don't think you'll need it using the coconut aminos because it's a pretty strong flavor. I am making a huge mess. That is not new. Oh, this is gonna be so good. I'm still making a mess. You can always tell when I've been cooking because there's just a mess everywhere I go. All right, so to that I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of the coconut aminos. Honestly, you can flavor it to taste. If you like it a little saltier or a little more flavorful, by all means do it. I'm gonna add that to it and give it a couple of quick stirs here. Let that mix in. I might be adding just a little bit more of that, just because I want to at least taste it. I don't want it to be an overwhelming flavor. So here's a little concept about vegetables. Now, I've heard a lot of my clients say, you know, I really just don't like the taste of vegetables. I don't like vegetables. There's two reasons for that. Number one, when you eat a lot of hyperpalatable foods. So hyperpalatable just means that they've been designed to be really tasty so that you'll buy more. So keep in mind, you know, the whole, I bet you can't eat just one. I think that's Lay's, potato chips, whatever. Those processed foods are designed for you to want to eat them over and over and over again, so you'll purchase more of them. Unfortunately, that ruins your taste buds. You cannot taste the natural sugars and the natural sweetness of the vegetables that we eat. The second issue with that is that because growing those ingredients have become so industrialized, a lot of times a lot of the nutrients are not available in the soil for the plants and the vegetables, and so we don't get that amazing flavor that vegetables do have to offer. So how we work around that is, number one, go to your farmers markets locally. Even here where we're still phase one, those are still available. The farmers market is open. You just have to follow protocols. Number two, grow them on your own. That way you can guarantee that you know what goes into them, that they haven't been sprayed with pesticides, whatever it is that you really think is important and value, then you have control over that. So if you find that you really don't like vegetables, it's going to take you some time to train your taste buds to actually like them again. So just keep that in mind. All right, so we're just about there. This is almost done. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add about 2 cups of spinach. Now I just get this lovely like market size. This is just from my local grocery store. And I'm gonna put just approximately 2 cups. And I'm just gonna give that a minute to wilt. Now, the thing about spinach, some people don't like spinach. I get it. I mean, I guess you could use kale. That might be a little weird, but you know, why not? The thing about spinach is it's just very highly nutrient dense. Now, you actually get more of the vitamins if you saute or break it down a little bit, because then it releases the vitamins a lot easier. It's easier to digest and your body can absorb them. The problem doesn't come to not necessarily just getting enough of the vitamins and minerals, which for most people it is because the standard American diet does not have those. But the other issue is making sure that they're absorbable. So realize that some vitamins are fat soluble, so you need healthy fats in order for your body to absorb and break them down, and some of them are water soluble. Sometimes changing the structure of the actual vegetable itself can actually help with the absorption of the nutrients in it, and spinach is one of those. So keep that in mind. Well, I don't even know if that's quite too, I think we're good there. So give that a few minutes. If you have to, throw a lid on there, let that break down just a little bit and wilt. And then you've got the perfect easy side dish. Now, it took a little bit longer because I just had to wait for it to cook down a little bit, but honestly, that was super, super easy. So not too shabby. This is gonna be part of my lunch today. Woohoo! So if you guys have any great ideas, or if you try something, you love it, if you try something and it wasn't really what you thought it would be, let me know. Leave a message down below, or you can actually message me directly through Facebook Messenger. And if you've got a great recipe that you think we should try, pass it on. Now, it can't be complicated because I don't do complicated at this point. I just don't have time for that. And most people don't. Not only that, but they won't try it if it's too complicated. So if you like it, great. And if not, let's find something else that works for you. That is Meals with Melissa. You guys have an incredible weekend. Thanks, Leanna. This is actually one of those, like, we used to call them crippers. I don't know what they're called now. Waivers. My daughter helped me with it. So have a great weekend, you guys. Enjoy, and please stay healthy.